Hey there, night owls, and welcome to Night Mode, where we unravel the creepiest mysteries every single day. I'm Ghosty, your floating guide to the weird and unknown, and tonight we're stepping into a story so bizarre it'll make your skin crawl and your feet twitch. Imagine a town where people started dancing and couldn't stop, even as their bodies gave out, some collapsing, others dancing straight to their graves. This isn't a fairy tale or a horror flick, it really happened in 1518 in a place called Strasbourg. They call it the Dancing Plague, and it's one of history's strangest unsolved mysteries. So grab a seat if you can stay still, and let's dive into the chilling tale of the town that danced to death. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to join the Night Mode crew. Ready? Let's get spooky. Picture this. It's July 1518 in the bustling city of Strasbourg, now part of France, but back then part of the Holy Roman Empire. The summer heat is oppressive. The streets are alive with merchants, and the air hums with the usual chaos of a medieval town. Then, out of nowhere, a woman named Frau Trophea steps into the street and starts dancing. Not a graceful waltz or a festive jig. Her movements are frantic, jerky, almost possessed. She dances for hours, then days, without stopping, her face twisted in exhaustion but unable to rest. Neighbors gawk, whisper, pray. By the end of the week, she's still going, her shoes worn to shreds, her feet bleeding. But here's where it gets wild. She's not alone. Within days, dozens of people join her, men and women, young and old, dancing uncontrollably in the streets, their bodies moving against their will. By August, reports say up to 400 people were caught in this bizarre frenzy, some dancing until their hearts gave out. Now, let's pause for a second, because this is already insane. Can you imagine dancing for days without a break? No food, no sleep, just your body jerking like a puppet on invisible strings? Drop a comment below. Could you keep moving for even an hour? This wasn't a party. Historical records like chronicles from Strasbourg's archives describe people collapsing from strokes, heart attacks, or sheer exhaustion. Some died within days. One account claims up to 15 people were dropping dead daily at the peak of the plague. The town's leaders were freaked out. They didn't know if this was a disease, a curse, or the devil himself. So what did they do? They made it weirder. Ooh. The city council, thinking this might be a divine punishment, banned dancing. Ironic, right? And called in priests to exorcise the dancers. But when that failed, they decided the cure was more dancing. Yes, you heard that right. They hired musicians to play drums and lutes, set up stages in the town square, and encouraged the dancers to keep going, hoping they'd dance it out. Imagine Ghosty floating over a medieval stage, watching drummers pound away while people writhe in agony. It's like a horror movie directed by a madman. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. The music seemed to make it worse, like pouring gasoline on a fire. More people joined the dance, their bodies twitching, their screams mixing with the beat. So, what was causing this? Let's dig into the theories because this is where the dancing plague gets even stranger. First up, the medical theory. Ergot poisoning. Ergot is a fungus that grows on rye, a staple crop in Strasbourg. When ingested, it acts like a natural LSD, causing hallucinations, convulsions, and muscle spasms. In 1518, a wet summer could have led to a bumper crop of ergot-tainted bread. The symptoms fit: jerking limbs, visions, delirium. There's just one problem. Ergot poisoning usually causes vomiting and gangrene, not synchronized dancing for days. Plus, why would hundreds of people all start dancing specifically? It's like the fungus choreographed a flash mob from hell. What do you think? Could a bad loaf of bread turn a town into a dance floor? Comment your thoughts. Theory number 2. Mass hysteria, or what they called dancing mania back then. Strasbourg in 1518 was a pressure cooker. Famine, plague, and religious tension were rampant. The Black Death had ravaged Europe, and people lived in constant fear of divine wrath. Some historians think the dancers were caught in a shared psychological breakdown, their minds convincing their bodies to dance as a release of stress. It's like a medieval version of a panic attack, but contagious. This theory is creepy because it suggests our minds can betray us, turning us into puppets of our own fear. Imagine Ghosty whispering, "What if your brain forced you to dance forever?" Freaky, right? But here's the catch. Mass hysteria doesn't explain why some danced to death while others nearby were unaffected. Now let's get really bizarre with theory number 3, a supernatural curse. In 1518, people believed in saints and demons like we believe in gravity. The town thought the dancers were cursed by Saint Vitus, a saint linked to epilepsy and weirdly dancing. They even sent some dancers to a shrine to pray for relief, carting them up a mountain in wagons because they couldn't stop moving. Others whispered about witches or demonic possession. One chronicle mentions a hot blood curse, as if the dancers' veins were boiling with some unholy energy. Imagine this, Ghosty hovering over a medieval church, watching priests splash holy water on writhing dancers. Could a saint or a demon really hijack a whole town? Drop your wildest theory in the comments. Cursed saints, angry spirits, or something else. But wait, it gets even weirder. Some modern researchers suggest a social contagion tied to local folklore. In medieval Europe, dancing was sometimes seen as sinful, linked to pagan rituals or the devil. Strasbourg's people might have been caught in a cultural feedback loop, where seeing others dance triggered a belief they had to join, like a real-life TikTok challenge gone deadly. There's even a theory about mirror neurons in the brain which make us mimic what we see. Picture this. One person dances, others copy, and soon the whole town is trapped in a nightmare of synchronized chaos. Ghosty's eyes would be popping out right now. To test this, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever felt swept up in a crowd's energy, like at a concert or a protest? Share your story below. Here's a detail that'll blow your mind. The dancing plague wasn't a one-off. Similar outbreaks happened across Europe from the 1300s to the 1600s, like in Aachen in 1374, where hundreds danced in the streets, some claiming they saw visions of demons. Strasbourg's case was just the deadliest. Why did these dances keep happening? Were they all eating bad rye, or was something darker at play? One creepy fact. During the Strasbourg plague, some dancers reported seeing Saint Vitus himself in the sky, beckoning them to keep moving. Imagine looking up and seeing a ghostly saint directing your doom. Ghosty shivers just thinking about it. As the weeks dragged on, the dancing slowed. Some say the dancers were locked in guild halls to recover, others that the curse simply faded. By September, the streets were quiet again, but the death toll was staggering, possibly hundreds, though exact numbers are murky. Strasbourg's chronicles don't say what happened to Frau Trophäa, the woman who started it all. Did she dance to her death, or did she slip away into the night? We may never know. The dancing plague remains one of history's weirdest unsolved cases. A reminder that sometimes the scariest things aren't ghosts or monsters, but the mysteries inside us. So, night owls, what do you make of this? Was the dancing plague a fungal trip? A mass panic? A curse from St. Vitus? Or something we can't even imagine? Hit that like button if this gave you chills, and drop your theory in the comments. I'm reading every single one. If you're new to Night Mode, subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss tomorrow's mystery. We're diving into another bizarre tale, and trust me, it's a wild one. Want us to investigate a creepy topic? Tell us below. Until then, this is Ghosty, reminding you to stay curious, stay spooky, and whatever you do, don't start dancing. See you tomorrow.